But no, let us change completely. We'll not talk anymore about renal water saving, but just about above AVP. And it can be a concern also, AVP, alone, in itself. Look to that result from the HYPOP study that I've already presented in this talk. Remember, low drinker were having low urine volume and highly concentrated urines. Not surprisingly, they do have also high AVP level concentration, normal, when compared especially to high drinker. The difference is not so huge, 1/3, 40% roughly. But the difference regarding urine osmolarity is very high. What was very surprising for us is that we were not looking at, not even thinking we will find that cortisol in the low drinker was higher in the morning than in the high drinkers. And 20% can be significant regarding cellular impact. So in this patient, they recruit slightly, they recruit cortisol. Cortisol usually is a stress hormone. It's not made for that. So have a look to the action of AVP to try to understand that. Well, we have 3 receptors for AVP, V2, V1A, V1B. The most sensitive is V2. It's specifically expressed in the kidney and is linked with, we have seen that, antidiuresis and slightly sodium reabsorption. But V1A receptor is expressed in many cells. It's expressed on platelets. It is expressed on vascular smooth muscle cells. It's expressed in the liver. And the effects are inducing vasoconstriction, inducing platelet activation, glycolysis. And in the kidney, V1A receptor can stimulate directly aldosterone secretion and sodium reabsorption. And now if you look to V1B receptor, V1B receptor is expressed both is expressed in the pancreas and in the anterior hypophysis. And what is very exciting is that V1B, when you stimulate it, it induces secretion of ACTH that in turn will increase cortisol secretion. This is a link with stress. And here it will influence insulin and glucagon in a way it tends to raise glycemia. So if you take all that together, what is very strange with AVP is that at low concentration here, this is really an hormone of water homeostasis that prevents us from being dehydrated, and that's it. But when considering AVP at a higher concentration, it really acts as a stress hormone, meaning it stimulates vasoconstriction, glucose production. This is typically an effect of stress hormone. We'll talk about that tomorrow. And these effects are really an action of stress hormone. And what we know, it has been described long ago by Axelrod, that chronic recruitment of stress hormones or stress hormone is always detrimental. It's not made for that. They are supposed to be recruited in a very short period of time to adapt, and after that, return to normal value. If you recruit them for a long time, you always have trouble with that. And the group of Ole Melander has already published very nice results showing that there is really an impact. Here they have used copeptine. Copeptine is a surrogate marker of AVP secretion. AVP is very difficult for the dosage. It's a real nightmare. So copeptine is the part of the pro-AVP peptide. This is a C-terminal part. It's highly stable in plasma, no binding on cells, and very low elimination with a half-life that is close to 6 to 12 hours. So it's easier for the dosage, and it's proportional to AVP secretion. And what they have seen here is that there is a link between high level of copeptine and the risk to develop a metabolic syndrome regarding hypertension, CRP, body mass index, hyperinsulinemia, and so on. And they also published that clearly there is a link between the level of copeptine and the risk to have higher blood glucose, fasting blood glucose, and fasting insulin. This is diabetes mellitus. And recently, they also published that there is an independent, copeptine can be considered as an independent predictor of diabetic heart disease and death. So it's a real problem regarding health. The problem is who severe is the problem. We don't know, but there is a link, and this is very important because then AVP is acting as a stress hormone and doing some damage on the cardiovascular system. So some recommendation to finish. Well, there are not so much recommendation based on evidence-based medicine because we are, really lacking some publication of this level. However, we do have some recommendation mostly based on learned societies and expert advices. Regarding stone disease, kidney stones, its recommendation usually is 2 liters fluid intake per day for female, 2.5 in male. The goal is to reach the 2 liters that Borgi has demonstrated to be useful. And when a target is proposed, usually for 24 hours urine osmolality, it's 500. Regarding urinary tract infection, we do not have so much evidence. Even some people are arguing that it has no impact. But most of the learned societies are saying, okay, one can consider that 2 liters could be a good target in women having a recurring urinary tract infection. And based on the work of Eckford that we have seen before, the target could be 400 that time. Sorry. Here. Regarding chronic kidney disease, it's really too early to have any information that is clear. Well, the American Society of Nephrology have proposed that finally, based on William Clark work, 2 to 2 liters per day would be a good thing. It's not a demonstration, but it appears to be a good starting point. And they have shown that there is no risk of dilution, so no trouble with that. It has even been proposed in a specific disease, this is a polycystic kidney disease, that 2.5 liters would be better, even 3 liters, when people have almost normal renal function and the disease. There is a study going on. This is the water intake trial study performed in London, Canada, with the same team. And we are waiting for the result because it's very exciting. If we can have a protective effect, it will be great to add water on the top of what we are trying to do for patients with chronic kidney disease because we are not so efficient. And, well, water has no cost. It works in pretty well. It's a good idea. Thank you very much.
Thank you.